Aviation Accident Investigator with the National Transportation Safety Board, the NTSB. The NTSB investigates all aviation and major rail, highway, pipeline, and marine accidents in the U.S. We're here to determine what happened, why it happened, and how we can prevent it from happening again. I'd like to say thanks, first off, to Lee County Emergency Management, Lee County Fire Marshals, and Lee County Sheriff's Office. In addition, thanks to First Health EMS, Deep River Fire Department, Moncure Fire, North Carolina State Highway Patrol, UNC Air Care, and all of the other first responders that assisted out on the scene. My sincere condolences go to the family, the friends, and this entire community that have been affected by this tragedy. I arrived on scene today at about 11:15 this morning, so the information that I have currently is limited, but I'll share what I can with you all, and I'll take some questions at the end too. At about 1:30 p.m. on July 7th, November 5656 Mike, a Cirrus SR-22T airplane, impacted open terrain near Stanford, North Carolina. There were 4 occupants on board, and they were all fatally injured. The airplane departed from Merritt Island, Florida at about 11:03 Eastern Time and was en route to Raleigh Executive Jetport near Sanford, North Carolina. About 5 to 6 miles from the airport, the airplane advised a local fixed-based operator about a loss of communications and navigational equipment. Shortly after, they advised the fixed-base operator that they had engine issues. The airplane was located in a private field about 1 mile from the airport. On scene with us, we have the FAA, and we have representatives from the airframe and the engine manufacturer. The airplane is going to be recovered and taken to a secured facility in Tennessee for further examination. Our on-scene work will conclude tomorrow morning, and then in Tennessee, all aspects of the engine and the airframe will be examined. Perishable evidence has been collected on scene, and we're already in the process of sending that back to Washington, D.C. for evaluation and examination. That includes things like recorders on the airplane and other non-volatile information. We look at all aspects of what were involved, including the pilot, the airplane, and the environment. So the pilot, we look at the past 72 hours of history to see things like fatigue, any changes in lifestyle, anything like that. The airplane, the engine, and the airframe, which we've already started to do, and the environment, any kind of ATC communications or any other weather phenomenon that were happening at the time of the accident. Once we leave here, a preliminary report will be published in about 3 weeks, and then a final report will take about 18 months to complete. If anyone has witnessed the accident or has information regarding the accident, we request that you contact witness@ntsb.gov. I have time for some questions. Just state your name and the affiliate for me.
I'm Dan West. ABC 11. Who was flying the plane at the time of the crash?
The pilot was flying the plane at the time of the crash. I don't release identities or names.
So this was separate from the family, or was this? I mean, can you?
I'm not going to talk about the occupants on board. I can just tell you that all 4 of the occupants were fatally injured. Information regarding the occupants on board should be directed towards the sheriff's office.
Can you say anything about their flight history, their flight experience?
We're still looking into the pilot's flight history. We have the pilot's logbooks, but not all of the information appears to have been in his main logbook, which is not uncommon. Sometimes their information is stored online. I only have the physical copies currently, so that's going to take some time to get the rest of his flight history.
I'm Dan West with CBS 17. The SR-22 is equipped with a parachute system.
Yes.
Was that deployed, and if not, do you know why yet?
It does not appear that the parachute deployed. We're not certain why yet. Sometimes that's an altitude thing. There's many factors that could play into that, but it does not appear that the parachute deployed.
Is there any indication of what altitude the plane may have had discovered engine problems?
We don't have that yet. So the pilot reported communication and transponder issues, and that's playing a part into that.
Freddie Kirk, WRAL, of course, you know, for family and friends of the people in that plane, everyone wants to know what their final moments look like. We've heard theories like maybe there was an hypoxia
Mhm.
instance, or that that plane lost gas. Is there anything you can tell us about the final moments?
No, nothing I can tell you at this point. It's too early in the investigation, unfortunately.
Maggie Lewis, CBS 17, can you talk about the state of the plane? Destroyed?
Yeah, it's pretty beat up. It's all within one location, which is helpful. We have all the components of the airplane right there in one spot, and it's contained to a diameter, I'd say, about a 50-yard circle.
Richard Stradling from the News and Observer. Can you talk more about the communication? Who was he communicating with?
He was communicating with somebody at the fixed base operator here at the airport. I can't give you names or anything like that. But yeah, he was talking to somebody here at the airport who was attempting to help clear the air traffic for their arrival.
And you said there was communication, there was transponder issues, and then also mechanical?
They initially relayed that they had communication and transponder issues, and then shortly after stated that they had engine problems.
Is that something that commonly goes together?
No, not always.
Had the plane made its descent, or was it descending at the time of this?
Yes, this was the final destination for the airplane. So it was coming into land here as expected when, yeah.
Just from looking at this scene from, you know, images up above, it looked, you know, really tough. I mean, we saw some tough things from
Mhm.
just back at our station. How are people doing after responding to this?
It's a tragedy by all means. I mean, it's a devastating blow to everybody, the community, and but we're going to figure out what happened.
Is there any sense and timeline between the call about the mechanical issues and when the impact occurred?
The call came in and they advised that they were about 7 miles out at the time from the airport.
Were they trying to make any type of emergency landing or trying to get into the airport as normal, as your understanding?
I need to clarify all that yet. I don't have that answer.
Is the parachute system usually automatic? I know we're not aware whether or not it deployed, or is that something the pilot has to do?
The pilot would have to initiate the parachute sequence. I have time for one more question.
I'll take it. Is there anything that was unique about this instance, or so far what you've uncovered from the investigation?
They're all unique. Every accident's different. We have a lot to go through yet. It's going to take several months, and that's why final reports take as long as they do. So a lot of challenges ahead of us, but nothing that we can't conquer to determine.
One last question. Was
Yeah.
there evidence that there was fuel in the tanks or on the ground?
We're still working that out.
What is the, just one, what is the range?
That's going to be the last one. Sorry. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.